two famous psychologists, Daniel Gilbert and Daniel Kahneman, have quite divergent views on happiness. Okay. It's quite interesting. So Daniel Gilbert talks about how if you spent every minute of the rest of your life on a floaty lilo in a pool drinking cocktails, in retrospect, you might not have found much meaning, but each individual moment of experience would have been enjoyable. And he believes that constitutes to him a life that is well lived.
I disagree with this guy entirely.
Daniel Kahneman, and this is my position too, which is a well-lived life is one which in retrospect you are glad that you lived, right? So one is leaning toward hedonic pleasure and the other is leaning toward meaning. So one you could say is happiness and the other is meaning. It's my belief that your disposition largely influences where on that spectrum from lilo to do hard things you need to sit. And you will have friends, and I did for a very long time in the nightlife industry, have friends that just seem to be so fucking happy not doing stuff. Like just they would float through life and they wouldn't ask themselves, am I actualizing my fucking virtue? Is this the highest integrity that I can do with these things and all the rest of it? And I was envious of those people. You ever seen a dog? You see a dog on the floor and it's just lying there and you think, oh my God, if only I could be that dog. Like it just wants to go for a walk and have food and like go pee-pee. That's it. That's all it wants to do. And you think, fuck, it would be great to be that dog. But like, guess what? If your constitution doesn't allow you to be that dog, the only way out is through. And this was something... The first time that I went to go and see Peterson, someone asked him a question and they said, the depth of my consciousness causes me to suffer. Is it a blessing or a curse to feel everything so deeply? And he thought for a little bit and he said, take more of the thing that poisons you until you turn it into a tonic that girdles the world around you. The only way out is through. And it's kind of like, as soon as you realize that there are things that you do that give you satisfaction and there are things that other people do that give them happiness, and you've tried that route, the only way is to continue doing the thing that you know that works. And I think that you are an example of someone who is optimizing heavily for meaning rather than for hedonism. If you're the sort of person that finds meaning more enjoyable than happiness, you need to optimize for the thing that you enjoy the most.
And I'll toss in, and meaning lasts longer. And so I'll be super upfront. If those friends of yours in the nightlife, there's nothing wrong with that in my way. Like as I see the world, like if that's you and you're like, I fucking love everything I do, then like you won. Like just keep doing that. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of the message that Chris and I are saying here is that if you've tried that path and it hasn't worked for you, then you have this dark door that's in the corner that you've been trying all the other ones that have nice gold edges and really shiny things, but there's that door that you keep looking at and it's the other side of you that's clearing his throat in the other room. And it's like, you just have to bust through the door. And I think that giving yourself permission to be unhappy, or at least for me, giving myself permission to be unhappy for an extended period of time in order to get what I wanted gave me so much relief from, honestly, I don't like using the word nowadays because it has so many associations, but just from like the depression or the funk that I was in for a few years.
Right?
Yeah, I just didn't like my life. And I'd achieved by most measures, because I don't have the, school failed me. I was whatever. Like I wasn't that. I finished in 3 years and I did really well in school and I had a really good job. But it was empty for me. And so my goal is things we talked about earlier, but my personal goal is to squeeze every ounce of potential out of whatever I have. And I think that if you feel like you have potential left over, then it will eat you alive until you do something about it.